Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajita Devi, Government Degree College of Ayatnagar, Department of Computer Science. Today, I am going to discuss about on BSc Hosts and Data Management System. Uh, in this in this chapter, I am going to discuss about on these things: entity relationship model, degree of relationship, and cardinality constraints, and then enhance entity relationship model, generalization, specialization, specific constraints in supertype and subtype, normalization, and SDLC model. In this, one by one we will discuss about on these things. Firstly, I am going to discuss entity relationship model. In this entity relationship model, before going to that, what is an ER model? ER stands for entity relationship. Before going to that, we know about the entity. What is an entity? Entity is anything we call it as a student or address, like that. We are calling with an entity, which is a relationship model, is a detailed and logical representation of the data for an organization or for a business area. In this, which is a relationship entity in between a relation, which is a detailed and logical representation in for a business area. In this ER diagram, I will tell about on this a graphical representation of an entity relationship model. ER notations are there. In this, notations are some basic symbols will be there. In these symbols we are using to draw our relationship models. Basically, the symbols are I'm showing here. In this, first one is the rectangle symbol will be there, that is a strong entity, and then next one is a weak entity, and then third one is the associative entity, and fourth one rhombus symbol is there, that is the relationship, and then attribute and multi-valued attribute, and then derived attribute and identifying relationship, and then these are the relationship model we are using the entities. In this, the next one is the relational cardinality. By using these entities, we are making a relationships with this. First one is the relational cardinality. In this relational cardinality, unary relationship is there, and then next one two rectangle symbol within the rhombus symbol. I am using this is by using this we are calling with a binary relationship, and then next one is the two more than two, this is a three rectangle symbols within the rhombus symbol, that is we are calling with a ternary relationship. After that, the relationship cardinality is there. In this relationship cardinality, I am using these with symbols, rectangle and rhombus will be there, that is we are calling with a mandatory one. And then next one is the rhombus symbol within the three lines we are indicating. I am indicating in this mandatory to many. Three symbols are, that's why we are calling with a mandatory many. And then next one is the optional many, which is indicated with the circle symbol, rhombus with a rectangle. In between the circle is there, three indication lines are there, that is optional many. After that, next one is the rhombus symbol, and then rectangular symbol in between the circle is there, that is optional one. These are we are calling with the relationship cardinality. And after that, next one, there are the notations of ER models are there. In this, earlier I tell about on what is an entity. In this entity, an entity is a person, place, object, event or concept. And then next one we are going to tell about a person. Person is, for example, I am taking here employee, student, patient, like that. Anything we are taking on this. After that, a place, store is there and state is there, etc. We are calling with a place. And then object, a building, automobile, machine, like that. We are calling anything, we are calling with an object. And then event, registration, renewal, sales, like that we are calling an event. And then concept is there, account, course, work center, like that. These are the basic ER models, notations we are calling with this. After that, the next topic is I'm going to discuss about entity type. Brief description on entity type. A collection of entity that share common properties or characteristics. Each entity and ER model is giving a name, since a name represents a collection of items, which is an entity type. A collection of names or share common properties, which is a common property. For example, I am taking a student having a name, number, address, like that, where that properties are characteristics, and then each entity and ER model, even every entity is an ER model, is giving a name, since a name representing a collection of items. And then next one, we use a capital letter for name for entity. Whenever we are using a entity, that is indicated with a capital letter. Entity name is a place inside rectangular box. And then next one, entity instance. In this, a single accuracy of an entity. Whenever we are using a single entity, that is entity instance. We are calling with an entity instance. And then next one is the strong entity. An entity that exists independently of other entities, that is a symbol will be there, solid rectangle box. For this we are using strong entity. Earlier I tell about on that strong entity in the above shown figure, that is a strong entity, solid rectangle box. For example, I am taking here a student and employee and then course, etc. This is about a strong entity. And then next one, weak entity type will be there. An entity type whose existence depends on some other entity types. The entity type on which the weak entity type depends is called the identifying owner. This is the, for example, symbol, one rectangle symbol, in that after another rectangle symbol will be there, that is a weak entity, which depends on other entity. That's why that symbol will be indicated on this. Attribute, next one. A property or characteristics of an entity type, that is symbol is only the symbol will be the circle. And then for example, I am taking here some student will be there. Student having ID and name and marks and then address. The first letter will be capital, it shows, and this is an entity type, for example. After that, composite attribute is there. In this composite attribute, an attribute that can be broken down into the number of components or number of parts will be there. A student will be there, student having the student ID and student name, student address, then hall ticket number, student having a hall number will be there, street will be there, and then village and district will be there. This is these two. In this figure, student having the SID, S name, S address will be the three individual entities. In these three individual entities, S address having some more entities, which is a dependent entities on S address. Address is having his house number, street, village, district, like that. Under represents a primary key, it contains unique and nil will be there. This is a composite attribute. This is about a composite attribute. After that, S address is a composite. I am telling about on this attribute. Simple attribute, an attribute that can be broken down into small components or number of components. Here in this figure, I am telling about on that student. I am taking here SID, a simple attribute. Simple attribute, student having a SID and S name, a E name and the C name will be there. And then these are the simple attribute into a small components and number of components. And then next, multi-valued attributes are there. In this multi-valued attributes, An attribute that may take more than one value for a given entity instance. For example, I am taking here an employee will be there. Employee having a employee ID, employee name, salary and skill will be there. How can we about on this? A skill is a two rectangle symbol, multi-valued attribute will be there. One employee having one ID, one name, one salary, but skills are more than one. He's having. That is ID is a primary key. That's why we are calling with a multi-valued attribute. For this an example. And then a derived attribute. In this, a derived attribute and attributes whose values can be calculated from related attribute values. That is, for example, I am taking here a student having a SID, SNAME, subject 1 is subject 2, subject 3 and total marks will be there. The total attributes depends subject 1 and subject 2, then this attribute can be called as derived attribute. Some subjects will be there, any one subject, these total subjects will be depends on total. This is a derived attribute. A student having so many subjects will be there, the subjects are collected with the total. This is deriving attribute. After that, the next will be relationship. A relationship, in this relationship, a meaningful associated between entity type. In this, some employee has there and then department will be there, has no relationship in between those employee and department. This having a relationship. I am not in first figure, there is no relationship. Then the second figure, student complete course, which is I am giving a relationship in this. A student complete many to many relationship. One student will be there, one student completed many courses. That's why we are calling a relationship between many to many relationship. After that, associative entity. In this associative entity relationship, an entity type that associate the instance of one or more entity types. Attributes that are particular to the relationship between those entity instances. In this associative relationship, I am going to tell clearly about on this. Student having SID, SNAME. This is student is an entity. Complete, it means a rhombus symbol I am indicating here, that is a relationship. And then next one, so other one is a course will be there. Some attributes, CID, course having some ID number is there, and then name will be there, which is an entity. Student and course are entities. Complete is a relationship. SID, SNAME, CID, CNAME is the attributes. In this associative entity, a student complete some courses having ID and name will be there. This is about an particular to the relationship between these entity instances. This is we are calling with associative entity relationship model. After that, in this associative entity, a student, in brief, a student having their, and then student having SID, SNAME is there. Associative entity, it's having completed course, any course will be there, and then certificate number is there. Course having CID is there, and name will be there. In this, I am telling about clear on this. The presence of one or more attribute and a relationship suggests to the designer that the relation should be represented as an entity type. That's why I am clearly telling on this. A student having SID, SNAME will be there. Associative entity, it means in this figure I am showing about on this rhombus symbol is there. In this having a relationship rectangle is there. Rectangle having a course completed and a certification number will be there, which is authenticated. The number will be there. A course having the ID and name is there. Student having some associate entity, having some associate entity that's having completed and certificate number is there, and course having some ID and name is there, that is a representation and represented as an entity type. This should having associative entity. After that, next, degrees of relationship. Next topic is degrees of relationship. In this, what is a degree? Before going on that, about degree, the number of entity type that participate in a relationship. Any type we are taking, a particular entity you have to take with a relationship, that is we are calling with a degree. The three most common relationship degrees in AR models are, number one is the unary relationship is there, and binary relationship is there, and ternary relationship is there. In unary relationship, a relationship between the instances of a single entity. We are taking in a single entity. It is also called as recursive relationship. It is having a recursive relationship. For example, I am taking a one figure here. Employee having some managers. Employee manages many employees. One to many relationships are there. Employee having manages many employees. He has to do any employees. That is, we are calling with many relationships. A relationship between the instance of a single entity. Single entity means it's a employee. It is a recursive relationship. It is also called as a recursive relationship. That is, employee 1 having many relationships. He is having many relationships, and that is means he is known about other things also. And then next one, a person. Another example I am taking here. A person is there. A person is an entity which is a relationship. The rhombo symbol which is indicated with the unary relationship is married to. Some person is married to some person. I am taking here one example for this. In this, the first example, manages, is shown as in one to many relationship between instance of the employee. That means employee using this relationship, we could identify the employees who is working under manager's employee. For example, we are taking one employee, he manages so many employees under his organization. He manages so many employees. And then in second example is married to, shown as one to relationship between instance of person entity type. One person having one marriage, like that. We are taking an example for this only. And then next one, unary. After that, binary relationship is there. In this, a relationship between the instance of two entity types. This is most common type of relationship encounters in data modeling. In this, a relationship having between instance of two entities. I am taking here figure as shown in the figure. Two entities will be there. Student, course. The relationship is the register for many to many relationship, for relationship encounters in data modeling. Many to binary. I am taking here binary. In that binary, that meaning will be there too. That is, I am taking here student and course is there. That relationship is the register for. One student register for so many courses. That is a binary relationship. After that, a shop will be there. A shop and product is the two entities are there. In this, the relationship is contained. A shop contain many products. That is we are calling with one to many relationships. And then next one is the employee having parking places. So many organizations are there having parking places. In this, employees are assigned only one parking place every day. One employee is assigned to parking places one to one relationship only. In this, the first example shows that a student may register for more than one courses, and each course may have many students. In this, we are telling about on this topic. First example shows a student may register. Already I told about on this. Student may register for more than one course, and each course may have many students. one course having many students and another course having many students and third many having students. Student may register many courses. That is, in the second example, a shop contains several products and each product belong to only one shop. Each product having only one shop only. Shop containing several products, but each product belongs to every product belongs to one shop. And then third example is assigned to one parking place and each place is assigned to one employee. This is, I am telling about on this third example. One parking place and each place is assigned to only one place and each place to employee. This is about binary. And the next one is the topic is the relationship, ternary relationship. In this ternary relationship, a simultaneous relationship among the instance of three entity types are there. Simultaneously, one by one, after the next one, relationships are among the instance of three entity types. Three, more than two. A typical business situation that leads to a ternary relationship model. They are using in business model, a typical business model situation that leads a ternary relationship model they are using. For that, for example, I am taking here some vendor and warehouse and part. Three are the entities are there, and date and unit cost and attributes, simple attributes are there, and then the relationship is the supplies. And then in this example, in the above example, in this example, vendor can supply various parts. So many parts the vendor have to supply many parts. And to warehouse, the relationship supplies is used to record the specific parts. Some warehouse having a relationship, so many parts having, he is supplied to record, he had to record the specific parts that are supplied by a even vendor to a particular part. He he have to vend a particular part, he has to maintain a record that are supplied by a even vendor to a particular warehouse. Warehouse, how many warehouse, so many warehouse are a particular warehouse. Thus there are three entity types, that is a vendor, part, warehouse. These three are the entities. There are two attributes on these relationships, so that we can derive a new entity relationship, that is associative entity. In this case, vendor having so many vendor and part, warehouse, three entities are there, and this in this relationship is there, supply schedule will be there. In this supply, when he supplied on the date and which cost he has to sell, like that, these things about on this. This is about on relationship model. After that, I am going to tell about on this cardinality constraints. Cardinality constraints. Suppose there are two types of A and B that are connected by a relationship. A cardinality constraint specify the number of instances of entity type B and that can be associated with each instance of entity A. Cardinality constraints having two entities, below figure I am telling you about on this. Two entities are there, A and B, and connected with a relationship is stocked as and then constraints, cardinality constraints specify the number of instances of entity B also is there that can be associated with each instance of entity A. Cardinality constraints normally specify the minimum and the maximum number of instances. The possible constraints are mandatory one, mandatory mean, optional one, optional many. These are the very important concepts on these, telling about on this minimum and maximum number of instances. Possible constraints are mandatory one, mandatory mean, or optional one, optional many is there. In this cardinality constraints, I am going to take an example for this. A movie is there and videotape is there. Two are the entity types is stocked as mandatory 1 to 1. A movie having one videotape is stocked as that is a relationship in between video and then movie. After that, this is a mandatory one-to-one relationship model. And then next one is in this another example, movie is stocked as videotape, mandatory one-to-many. One movie in that above, first one example, one movie having one tape only, and then next example, one movie having so many videotapes. This is the relationship, one-to-one relation mandatory, and mandatory one-to-many relationship. This is the cardinality constraints. Consider a video store that rents videotape of a movie, since the store may stock more than one videotapes. This is the first example for each movie. So this is a one-to-many relationship. It is possible that the store may not have any videotape of a given movie is stock at that particular time. Whenever we are asking at that particular time of a given movie is not stock at that particular time, that is a one-to-many relationship. Then the cardinality constraints. After that, a maximum cardinality constraint is there. That is in this, the maximum number of instances of one entity type that may be associated with each instance of another entity type is there. Maximum number, you can take a number of instance of entities there. One entity I am taking here may be associated with each instance of another entity is there. For example, the maximum number of videotapes for a movie, I am taking number of maximum I am taking here videotapes are there for a movie is 0, and it means I am indicating a symbol will be there. If a minimum cardinality is 0, participation is optional. Participation is nothing but we are taking here on optional. A movie having a 0, videotapes for a movie is 0, and if the minimum cardinality is 0, participation is optional. That is optional. And then if the minimum cardinality is 1, participation is mandatory. One is a mandatory. Minimum cardinality is 1, participation is a mandatory. And then these maximum cardinality divided into 3 topics, 3 parts. Mandatory 1 will be there, mandatory many will be there, and optional is there. In this, I am taking here one example for this. Employee having a place which is associated with the relationship is assigned. Employee is assigned some place will be there. That is a mandatory one. He is having one place. Must and should it will having mandatory one. Employee having some place will be there. And then mandatory many. Then second example, a mandatory many. Shop having some product is there. That relationship is contains a shop having so many products will be there. Merchant should having a products. That is mandatory many. I am taking here another example. And then next one is optional one. Optional means you take may take or may not take, maybe or may not be. Person having is married. A person having to, optional, he is married, or another otherwise not married. And then next one, optional many. Optional many, I am taking here movies stocked as a videotape. Many, if you go to any particular that shop, you go on that particular time, the tape will be there or may not be there. That is an optional to many. After that, movie is assigned to project, many to many project. A movie having is assigned a relationship that so many projects will be there is assigned to. Movie is assigned to project. That is we are calling with many to many. This is the cardinality constraints about on. After that I am taking on about on the topic will be, I am explained on that enhanced entity relationship model. Enhanced entity relationship model. The business environment has changed dynamically. One by one, day by day, the business environment is changed. It's must and should to do change. As a result, the business relationships have become more complex. Day by day, the business relationship having become more complex. For this reason, the ER model is enhanced. For that, we are inventing a EER model, enhanced entity relationship model. We are inventing so that it can more accurately represents. We can accurately represent the complex data encounter. Whenever if we facing on data encounter, complex data encounter, today's business environmental. That's why we are inventing the EAR model. For this, the definition is the model that has resulted from extending the original ER model with new modeling constructs. Whenever we before extended the original ER model, in that we are preventing new model constructs. The most important construct in EER model is a super type subtype relationship is there. This facility allows us to model a general entity type and then the subtype divided into several entities. Specialized entity types will be there. In this, one by one I will discuss about what is on super type and subtype relationships and general entities, generalizations entity types. Representing a super type and subtype. What is a super type and then subtype? Subtype, a subgrouping of entity in an entity type that is meaningful to the organization, that the share common attribute and relationship distinct from the other subgrouping. A subgrouping of an entity. If we are taking a subgroup, one group is there, we are divided into a subgroup of entity in an entity model. One entity model I am taking here, which is divided into subgrouping, that is a meaningful to the organization, which is having meaningful organization and the share a common name. It's having a share common name, attributes and relationship and distinct from the other subgrouping. And the next one is the super type, a generic entity type that has a relationship one or more subtypes will be there. And briefly discuss on about these things. What is a super type and subtype? For example, I am taking here subtype will be the super types, which is super type which is indicated a rectangle symbol. In this super type, divided into as shown in the figure, subtype 1 and subtype 2 is there, which is divided into two parts. Subgrouping, one entity divided into two entity parts will be there, subtype 1 and subtype 2. In this subtype 1, attribute unique to subtype. Subtype 2 will be there, attribute unique to the subtype 2, which is derived from the subtype 1 attribute unique to subtype. Subtype 2 will be divided into attribute unique to subtype 2. And then super type having some attribute, super type having some attribute shared by all the entities, which is having the information which is it is shared by the super type 1 and subtype 2 will be there. This is about a general entity. We are calling with super type, we are calling with a general entity type, specialized entity types. We are calling with both general entity and specialized entity. Before going that, this is about what is a general entity, generalization. In this, the process of defining a more general entity type from a set of more specialized entity type will be there. For example, I am taking here an example below show figure. A car is there. In this car, a car having ID and then vehicle ID, vehicle name, and then vehicle name having subparts will be there, make, and then model one is there. Car having two subtypes, attributes are there, price, number of passengers. It's having ability to sitting. A car, this is an example for generalization, the process of defining a more general entity type from a set of more specialized. We are inventing so many specialized entity types will be there. Car having ID, name and make will be there. In this vehicle name having model also is there. A car having price, some price will be there. A car having number of passengers are there. This is the one example for the generalization. And then next example we are having a truck is there. A truck having a vehicle ID and vehicle name, and then vehicle name having make, model, one. Vehicle name having price and capacity and cab type will be there. This is a second example of a generalization. And then another example will be there. Motorcycle vehicle ID, make, vehicle name and model, one, and price will be there. In these above three example, we are connecting with this entity type car, truck, motorcycle will be there. I am connecting with the above three figures, connecting with this vehicle entity. First I have shown the figure vehicle, and then second example I am taking the car, and then third example I am taking the truck. The three are connected with these associative entities, that is vehicle is a main super type will be there. The super type having divided into subtypes, that is a car and truck will be there. And then vehicle having the vehicle ID and vehicle name and make and model, and vehicle having a price. These are the attributes of a vehicle. In this the relationship model is having vehicle having the car and truck will be there. A car having the number of passengers, and the truck have the cab type and capacity. These are the only connected with connecting with this more topics on generalization. In this generalization I am taking here, generalization is the bottom up process. In the above example, three entity types are defined: car, truck, motorcycle. In this stage, the data modeler intended to represent these separately on an AR diagram. Above three entities having a number of attributes. A vehicle having three attributes, car and truck will be there. And then in common, vehicle ID, vehicle name with the components make and model and price will be there. This is about an generalization is the way we remember on this topic on generalization is the bottom up process. Bottom up process in the above example. After that, generalization, next topic is the specialization. It is the process of defining one or more subtypes and supertypes and forming subtype. Relationship specialization is supertype and subtype relationship. Specialized is top down process. Top down process will be there in this. Generalization is the bottom to up process. Specialization is the top down process. In this I am taking another example here. I am going to show here. A part is there, a part having part number, description and supplier. Supplier having the unit price, supplier ID. A part having another attributes are there, routing number, location is there, quantity and part having. After that, a part, these are the above example. I am taking another example with by using on that part having manufactured and purchased part. These are the part. These are super type, which is divided into subtypes for manufactured part and purchased part. Part having the routing number, manufactured routing number, a part having the part number, description and location, quantity and hand, which is connected within the relationship, that is unit price will be there. A relationship super type is there, and supplier is there, supplier having the supplier ID, which is divided into top down approach. This is about on specialization. Specialization having constraints in super type and subtypes, which is having super types and subtypes having is there. Specialization constraints. There are two types of constraints on super type and subtypes having there. First one is the completeness constraint and second one is the disjoint constraints. Completeness constraints address the question whether an instance of super type must also be a member of at least one subtype. Completeness constraints, it means which is I am defining here, address Completeness constraints is a address that the question whether an instance of a supertype must also be a member. It's having some member, at least one type. The completeness constraint has rules. Some rules will be there. We are indicating in this completeness constraint. Rule 1 and rule 2 will be there. Rule 1 is total specialized rule will be at least in one or more. And then rule partial specialized rule will be there. Totally specialized part, it specifying that each entity instance of the supertype must be a member of some subtypes in the relationship. It's having some specialized, totally specialized constraints. It's specifying each instance having supertype. Every instance having supertype but must be a member of some subtypes in the relationship. In this, I'm going to take an example for this. One patient is there. One patient is a supertype which is divided into subtypes. Outpatient and inpatient will be there. A patient having the patient ID, admit data will be there. In this, which is associated a relationship between the physicians. So many specializations are there. I am taking here some space. Physician are there. A physician having the physician ID. Physician is an entity type will be there. In this, outpatient having a check back date will be there before checking date, and inpatient having a data schedule is there, and then is assigned to a room, and then is assigned to a room ID will be there. This is about an example of constraints. After that, I am going to tell about on this total constraints and partially constraints, specialized constraints. In this, partial means the partial specialized constraints that an entity instance of the supertype is allowed not to belong to any subtype. For example, I am taking here partially means it in that definition will be there. In that partial means partially. That is an example for this. Vehicle is there. Vehicle having truck and car and truck having super and subtypes will be there. In this, car having a number of passengers and truck having the cab type and capacity. Vehicle which is not connected with the vehicle ID, vehicle name. Only vehicle name having the make and model will be there. Price is not connected with this, which is meaning nothing but a partial specifies that an entity instance of a supertype is allowed not belong to any subtype, which is not belong to the any subtypes. For example, a motorcycle is a type of vehicle, but that is not represented as a subtype in that model. As a subtype is not represented, which is not represented a subtype model. And then I'm going to discuss about on this joint constraint. The instance of supertype must be at least in one subtype. It is joint constraint address the question whether an instance is supertype may simultaneously be a member of two or more subtypes. The disjoint constraints having two possible rules, disjoint rule and overlap rule will be there. Disjoint means which is having supertype. Disjoint constraint having a supertype, it's having at least in one subtype. A disjoint constraint address the question. It gives address whether an instance of supertype may simultaneously be a member of two or more. It takes the two or more subtypes. The disjoint constraints having two possibility rules, which is having a two rules will be there. That is one disjoint rule and overlap rule will be there. In this disjoint rule, a disjoint rule specifies that if an entity instance, I am taking here one entity that having instance of supertype is a member of one subtype. It's having a member of one subtype. It cannot simultaneously be a member of any other subtypes. It cannot be a member of any other subtypes. In this, I am going to take an example for this. A patient will be there. A patient having the outpatient and inpatient and check date, data discharge, patient ID, admit date is associated with the care date for physician having physician ID and room ID. This is a overlap and disjoint constraints. After that, hence one of the instance of supertype is represented in a subtype that is a patient which is having a rule will be there, overlap rule. It is specified that one entity instance can simultaneously be a member of two or more subtypes will be there. In this, a part having is there. In that part having two manufactured entity will be there, manufacturer and purchased part will be there. Part having the root number, part number, location and description, quantity and hand will be there. Each which is having associated the relationship will be there, that is a supplier, unit price. A supplier having a supplier ID will be there. In this, this is overlap rule will be, that is one entity instance that is simultaneously be a member, which is having a member, a part having a member. Member, that means supplier having an identity, supplier ID, which is having two or more subtypes will be there, which is having one entity instance can simultaneously be a member of two or more subtypes will be there. This is about these are the main concepts of today topics. Tomorrow I will discuss next topics. Thank you. అమ్మ కోసం రావాలా నేను